What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of We Got Next. I'm one of your co-hosts of the show, Hayes, aka Shifty, and I just wanted to do a deep dive into Degods because a lot of people have been wondering what Degods is about, and also where can you pick up a Degod, and what is the big hype around what Degods is in itself. So I wanted to do an explanation on what Dust is, who Frank is, what the different rarities of the NFTs necessarily are, and how you can end up learning more information on a lot of the DeGods themselves. So for starters, this is just the home site of the DeGods website, and we can end up going to staking. This is something that a lot of people have started to do. As you can see, 89.5% of the DeGods are staked, and it's a total DeGods of 8480 that are staked with the minimum value locked, which is $52 million, which is a lot when you look at it itself. If we just connect the wallet, more than likely this wallet or one of my other wallets do have one. I am a holder of DeGods, just full disclosure. I'm behind that. So that's just the staking aspect of it. When you end up going to the roadmap, you can see all that Degods is working on or they have in store to end up working on. So as you all can see, it says Degods explain. So why the fuck is everyone so hyped about Degods? They had their dust. We'll end up looking at their dust as well because the price of dust is continuing to end up rising. You can get it on Radium. And so the next thing, Degods is a big thing that Frank and the team are working on to end up doing. Then they have D Labs as well. So the Dust ecosystem, we are building an ecosystem for buying, selling, and minting blue chip NFTs with Dust. We are working on integrating Dust as an accepted currency with top tier marketplaces, Magic Eden, Solana Art, popular peer to earn and peer to P, peer to player, peer to peer games and metaverse projects. Stake your Degods, earn Dust, read the Dust tokenomics. Next thing is Degods. So here's just a picture of what the Degods are. If you look on the Degods Twitter, you will see a lot of different pictures that they're showing of the Degods themselves. So Degods, the goal for Degods is for the art to sell it at auction houses. It's a big thing. And if you've ever listened to any of the different podcasts or different speeches that Frank and the team ends up giving, they're very excited about Degod and all that it can end up bringing. So Degods are not a new collection. Degods are an upgrade for your Degod, no cash grab, no inflation. The image on your Degod will switch to the Degod art, same attributes, new aesthetics. It will cost 1,000 dust. So at current prices, the last time I saw, dust was sitting at around $1.30. Maybe at one point it was sitting at $1.38. So if it is at $1.30, that's $1,300. You would end up having to pay if you wanted to end up buying dust, end up getting your Degod, and Degods will end up earning you 30 dust per day. So it is something that would be worth it because currently right now you earn 10 dust per day for a Degod. And if you end up spending the money, you would end up being 30 dust per day for a Degod. So that's what this is. Then the next part is the decentralized monarchy. So true decentralization makes an NFT project indestructible, but running every decision by a vote is dumb and efficient. F that, we are building an on-chain election for a group of elite demonarchs. So it's just with the theme like Degod, Degods, and everything like that. So the demonarchs, they will have shared power over the DAO funds and get compensated by a percent of the DDAO royalties, but they will have to actually do shit because the community will be able to vote them out at any time. And that's something else I really like about Frank. Frank is someone that's a realist and thinks in the moment, and also you are able to realize the true decentralization of everything. Another thing that they're doing is the DYOR. I tried out the app. It is something good. It's easy and simple to use. 3 tools that you really need to be successful in NFT, and I would fully recommend it, is if you end up using the DYOR, it'll show you the different floor prices and stuff. If you get in the Discord, it'll help you end up learning about a couple alphas when it comes to NFTs, and then also just get in on the Twitter, and you should be straight. This is a community that I would recommend to a lot of people. There are a lot of different NFTs out there that you can take part in, but make sure it's a full community, whereas you can end up getting more information on other NFTs as well, and they'll do recommendations. The community will help you out and teach you. So those are important and very big things that you can end up doing. The next thing is building the brand. So Degod equals household name. That's the goal. But we are going to do it our way. Expect some engineered viral stunts, big name celebrities joining, and unique IRL events at major NFT conferences. Sounds nuts right now. I know, but let's see. At some point, we will also launch new, larger collection to expand our community and holder base. So a lot of the earlier people that are in Degod will benefit greatly from this. And then D-Labs, so an accelerator plus launchpad for NFT projects. This isn't the typical launchpad. The acceptance rate will be really fucking low. Once accepted, the team begins a 5 to 8 week sprint to the mint. We'll provide resources and we'll coach them one-on-one. And that's something that's big with their D-Labs and what I'm excited for, because the potential is crazy as to all that can end up happening when it comes to D-Labs. D-Labs is something that is extremely important and helpful. You see all these different launch pads, and a lot of them will end up being cash grabs. But when I've heard Frank speak on different Twitter spaces, you know that he's looking out for the best for the whole Solana ecosystem. And right now, Solana, Degods are sitting at maybe 62, 63 Solana, which is not a lot when you look at all that they're really trying to do. And they can help so much happen. If you look at Coinbase, they're integrating, Coinbase is integrating Solana NFTs in the Solana wallet. That's a big thing. Gemini, once they end up integrating the Solana wallet, then FTX is working with some Solana NFTs. When Degod starts to get listed on that, it'll be extremely important. Just going into Magic Eden itself, you can end up seeing that the floor price is at 62 Solana currently, and they have over 156,000 Solana in volume. The average sale price is 63.69. And what that tells you and shows you is that people are buying above the floor. So when the floor price ones are gone, you're not going to have them any left. Like, you just won't. Look at the different prices. Remember I said that it's sitting at 62 Solana. So you have 64, 67, 70, 64, 65, 65. And this is all within the last 2 hours. So last 3 hours, 66. None of these are the floor price. When you start buying up the floor price is just going to go up. I mean, that sounds obvious, but a lot of times people are just buying at the floor. And with the Degods, they're buying more than just the floor price one. So just going into the next thing, you can end up looking at the Twitter. And Degods has over 46,000 followers on Twitter. They also have the Degods community if you want to end up getting involved in that one. And they have the Degods sales bot, which is telling you about a lot of different sales. Make sure to also, if you are wanting to learn more information about Degods itself, get into their Discord, because you'll learn a lot of information from their Discord. Going into the roadmap, that's what we ended up talking about, but the roadmap will end up showing you just this right here. All of this can be accessed from Twitter itself. The next thing, we'll just touch on Dust so that people can end up learning and understanding what Dust is. So Dust is the field that powers the entire Degods ecosystem. Degods is an experimental collection of NFTs. And so just here's the table of contents of everything. Something that's important, the first thing you probably saw is the Dust store. So if we just go to Dusty's, and you'll see different things that you can potentially use. So when you're accumulating dust every day, the 10 dust per day, these are the different raffles you can take part in. So you see the Reminiscence here, that ends in 14 hours. And again, if you don't necessarily have a Degod, if you want to buy dust to end up taking part in the raffles, be my guest. It makes more sense for you just to stake your Degod though. You can get a Yaku capsule, you can get a Day's Dust, the Remnant, and it all goes back into the Dust ecosystem because you're submitting the raffles, 195 were sold. That dust will just filter right back into the ecosystem itself. You see different ones like Catalina Whale, Nuke 8, DGen 8, DeFi Pirate, all things that people are already buying. So this is just a beneficial way. And it's not just one raffle. They're doing tons of raffles. So you can take part in all these different raffles that they have here and a chance to end up winning more. So that's the huge part about the ecosystem. Then you also have auctions that they have. So they had like a Solana Monkey business, they have Lab Monkey, mindful and think about it. If you only put in one ticket, let's say that miraculous chance that you end up winning, you benefited so much. And then you can sell that NFT if you want to for liquidity and you're good that way, or you can end up keeping it and you just got an NFT for a cheap price. So that's that part right there, just continuing to go on. You see Famous Fox, you see Sweet, you see Secret Coders, Simeon, all different ones that are here. So that's just what the dust store is. Then just going into the rarities, you'll end up seeing that you can check all the rarities this way, or if you want to end up looking deeper into what necessarily are the better traits for these different ones, you can end up sorting by clothes, background, eyes, head, mouth, neck, skin, specialties. So let's do it by skin. And I'll show you the different skins that are the most rare if you end up looking for trying to get something on the more rare side. So clearly Acid is the mythic one. Then you have like other mythic ones like Zombie, Radioactive, Transcendent, Ice, Nebula are the super rare ones. And then Poker is a rare one. Ape is a rare one too, but they have all the different ones here. You can end up sorting by rarity, before burns, after burns, and then the incinerator, that's something else. So 535 dead Degods have been burnt. And you can end up just looking here at the different ranks of what these different Degods were. Most of them do seem like, well, you do have a 1600 rank Degod that's here, but you have a lot of these different Degods that are here that have been burnt, which it's all about supply and demand. If the supply is being burnt, there's going to be more demand because there's only 9,465 Degods left. And if they're being staked and they're being burnt, the price is going to go up. And if people continue to delist, the price of it will go up. So that's just showing you that going into the DMAP, you can end up seeing it over here. It's all over the place where you could see the Degods. So you have some that are over in New Zealand, Australia, Asia. You have a lot that are in Europe, Eastern United States. There's a good amount, and then there's a couple like out here in the Pacific Ocean, then the South in South America. It just shows you that it's a diverse group of people that are taking part in the Degods community. And you see whales, you see some that are in like Northern United States. We got one in Africa. We have one in Europe. Whales are spread out too. So it's a community that believes in the whole Degods team itself. Last thing I'll show you guys is just going to frequently asked questions. And you can check out like, where do you buy your Degods? 3 different places. How do I know which Degod to buy? You can look that up by rarities, things of that nature. What do you do after Degod? A big thing is once you end up getting your Degod, make sure to end up getting verified so that you can see all the different Discord channels. When you are on Discord, stake your Degod too. That's another big thing. And you can end up understanding what the 33.3% tax was that they end up doing. And yeah, continue just look up more about Degods. I wanted to do something a little bit in depth so that you all can learn about what Degods is and where it ended up coming from. First time I ended up seeing Degods was around 26, 27 Solana when I first bought one. I saw it when it was in the teens. I do wish I got in back when it was under 10. That was a big time, but it's still not late. This is one personally, if I reflect on everything that I've learned and seen about Degods and what they've talked about, I can see Degods being a 3-digit floor price easily. I feel it can almost, I personally believe that it will be in the same conversation as some of the big Ethereum OpenSea ones, NFTs that are out there. It'll all be in time. Solana is newer than a lot of the Ethereum NFTs that are out there. But as we continue going on, I can see this one being worth as much, if not more than a good amount of the Ethereum-based NFTs. But that's everything I got over here. If you like this, end up liking it, subscribe, please. This always helps the channel for Steven and I. Let us know your comments and feedback as to what you would end up liking to see, and we'll make sure to end up putting this in. But that's all we got over here. This is Hayes, what we got next. Appreciate it. Shout out Degod family. We'll be back later.